Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Cobbin, the Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kay Boning with Tomorrow's Pros Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
All right, we finally got the audio working. There was like 7 clicks I had to make this morning. Welcome in. We are here live downtown. We had started. We went on this whole ramble for, man, what was it, like 3 minutes?
Yeah, it was good content, quality content.
It was great quality content.
We'll never get it back.
Never going to get it back. You know, I got a story to add to that here in a little bit, too, that was funny. But welcome in. We are here. Episode 275, and it got rid of my whole thing when I said we're coming to you live.
Yeah, threw you for a loop, and then we got talking about dogs.
Oh man! Luckily, like Quentin Williams, Billy Coffin, we had like 7 messages say we can't hear you. So we were doing that as a test this morning. It was what do they call this? A social experiment.
Yeah. To see if you're really listening.
To see if people are really listening this morning. And now, just because I'm worried that, this happened, let me just double check on my end that that people can actually hear us this morning. Deborah's watching. She should have told us. Deborah, come on. We're paying Deborah extra to do this.
She probably just has it on. She's not probably really listening. That's the test.
That was the test, Deborah. There we go. Okay, we're working. All right, we're good. Welcome in 275 as we get rolling here on a thankful Thursday. Jason Bay at First Baptist joining us, and good to have you back in with us. I was mentioning a while ago, there was this little dog walking around, and the dog obviously looks pregnant, and I saw that little pup all the way over at Tomorrow's Promise. I've been seeing it over there, and man, just the compassion I have for little pups and dogs, I wanted to go out there and grab the thing, but we don't need another one.
Well, that's what you can tell a lot about people by the way that they treat animals, and people that love animals, and our family has always loved animals. And I was saying that my daughter, she just bought my mother a new puppy for Mother's Day. My mother lost her dog about 6 months ago, and it's a little Yorkie puppy, and my mother's in love with that little puppy. And Kim gets to babysit it during the day while she's at work, so she likes that too.
And them little Yorkies don't shed. That's what I like about it. I was telling you the story. We have a golden. He sheds all over the place. And then we have this dog. We found out it's a blue Lacey. And Frank Oliveris, a good friend of ours, neighbor, had found all these puppies in Crabs Prairie. Somebody, just threw them out of a moving vehicle. And Frank's neighbor found them, said, Frank, I don't know what to do with them. Frank got the puppies, put them on social media. And that's how I got Stella a couple of years ago. In fact, it was the year we had that big snowstorm on Valentine's. Remember that?
Yep.
And that's how I got the pup. And I learned that dog is the state dog of Texas.
It's perfectly made for you, Rob.
I don't know, because when I got her, I had a little tiny apartment, and there was Bridget was still back at Georgetown. Man, Dr. Pepper's already hitting me. There was a puppy. There was an apartment that I had, and it was really tiny. Bridget was back in Georgetown, and I had no reason to get a little puppy. I mean, we had our golden. He was back in Georgetown, but I've always liked to have 2 dogs. I just like to have 2 to keep each other company.
Yeah.
And so I told Brett, I said, I got to go get this puppy. There's just no way. And she's the sweetest little thing. I used to call her Radio Dog because she'd hang out with me at the radio station.
Wow.
And it was real funny because these dogs can tell a lot about people. So there were some people that would come in, and she was very nice to them. And, then my boss would come in and growl at them. So I was like, get away from my dog, So dogs are very good at this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they are.
And she's very protective of our 2 children also. But what's weird is, even to this day, if she doesn't know you, she's never bit anyone. But man, she puts off the vibe that she would tear you to pieces if you're the wrong kind of person. Like, I'm talking the hair stands up on your back.
Yeah.
So
you told me that dog has a lot of those types of dogs has lots of energy. And whenever I'm selecting a dog, I'm looking for a dog that has exactly the polar opposite.
You want just a mellow dog?
Just a chill dog. So we have Basset Hounds at our house. And
cool.
Most of the time, they're just the most chill dogs that you can possibly have. They're just take it easy, just their idea of work is going from the feed bowl to outside, and back and forth. And so it works out well for us.
You want the ones that are like potty trained right out of the gate also, right?
Right.
I'm going to tell you, having that little dog and having this crate that I had to keep her in, and I was working, and the neighbors, it was 2 young ladies that went to Sam Houston, and they graduated, and they were working for the university. And so I got to know them, and they were so gracious. I trusted them, so I gave them a key, and they would come in and let her out during the day because they were there during the day sometimes. And so that worked out really well. and they would never let me pay them. We use that service. It's called Rover or something. It's like an Uber for dogs.
Right, right.
We used that thing one time, and like I was sitting there wondering, did they actually ever let my little dog out? Because they send you a picture like, oh, we're doing everything that we're supposed. So they send you a picture, and the dog looks all cute, and it's laying on this person's bed, and she has him in a little pillow.
Right.
But then I go pick her up, and the poor dog is literally yelping as she's going to the bathroom for like 5 minutes, and she just for 5 minutes. So you know that dog never went out the whole time.
So they're trained in photography, not necessarily taking care of animals.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So there you go. Well, we do want to welcome all of you in. Sorry about that technical glitch, a.k.a. me, a little bit earlier. I was joking around with Rick yesterday. We were having some fun yesterday, and I said, there's supposed to be a brain in here, and sometimes I feel like there may be a walnut inside my head. So it was a walnut type of morning. There's a couple of extra mouse buttons that I didn't click this morning. So we do want to welcome you in. As always, big thanks to Paul Oley. Paul, we love you, man. Thank you for helping to provide the space here of the gallery for all of your custom framing, photography, and more. It's Paul Oley of the gallery, and also a huge shout-out to Elliot Herzlich from Elliot's Jewelers and online at elliotsjewelers.com. I've talked about this, Pastor, never with you, though, man. What's really cool is Elliot, I don't want to say hooked up because I paid for it, but he took really good care of us. When Bridget and I decided to get married, I was like, I really need to get some sort of like a masculine band. I wanted something kind of cool. And I said, I wanted it to be a little bit different. And he said, I've got this white hammered gold with gold trim.
Nice, yeah.
And then I said, well, can you do something else? Because it was kind of unique. And then he put a little stud in there.
Oh, that's cool.
And these aren't even that, you think like these little things are expensive. It was like, I think it's like $50 for these, which isn't bad at all. Cheap. So, and he told me it's not cubic zirconia, and he said I put the real deal in there for you. I thought
that's neat.
I thought it was just like a little piece of plastic, but he don't play that way. But it was really cool, and so I really appreciate Elliot. He'll do that kind of stuff for you. He's a guy I had no idea. I don't know what I'm looking for with that stuff. Are you a jewelry guy? Do you know?
No, not at all. I'm just lost when it comes to that. But thank goodness my wife, she likes jewelry, but she's not a really big jewelry fanatic. She doesn't wear a lot of jewelry, so flowers are good for her.
See, when I first met, this is a deal. When I first met Jason, I walked in, and he's pastor at the church here at First Baptist, and I walked in, and he had this huge gold chain on.
Yeah, that's right.
And it had the letter P and the letter J, and in the middle of it was that Heart of the Ocean diamond. I was like, PJ? I thought his name was Pastor Jason. And, we built a new parking lot, so we pawned that over there to get the parking lot going.
That's right. No more chains. No more chains. I feel empty without it.
Yeah. That indention on the doctor actually said it was causing cardiovascular issues because it was
can't lay down with it on.
It was pushing down on him. So, but anyways, we're having fun this morning. Jason Bay with us from First Baptist, and we appreciate him filling in here for us on Thursdays. Got a great show lined up. Jason and I are going to be talking about a lot of things just happening in our community. Also going to talk in the next segment. We were going to do it in the first segment, but we'll wait till the second segment here in just a few moments when we take a break. And when we come back, we'll talk about just how this community is rallying together. There's so much that's going on. And I want to share a story from yesterday just about how one thing that may seem minuscule can lead to something great. And we saw that yesterday, and I'll talk about what that is in the next segment. Got a great show lined up for you today, though, as we want to lift you up and encourage you this morning. And for everybody that's out there across social media land, we have a lot of folks joining us across Twitter, which they call X now. Still don't know why they renamed that. LinkedIn, a few Facebook pages. We're also back on news and events. So those of you that are on Huntsville, Texas news and events, thank you for hopping in with us this morning. And also those of you that are joining us across YouTube or LinkedIn, we want to welcome you in as well. Do us a huge favor. They used to say, smash that like button. You remember that?
Yeah.
Just hit the like, tap the like button. Don't smash it because you'll have to get your phone screen fixed. But tap that like button and share if you don't mind. And let everybody on your friend list know that we're here to promote the good in the community. We also want to welcome all of you that are joining us this morning on the Spirit Radio FM app. I did want to mention, if you haven't downloaded that app, please do. Looks like we have 11 people listening on the app this morning. So we want to welcome you 11. The 11 are on this morning. So we want to welcome you in. For all of you on Spirit Radio FM, we're giving away $100,000 to each of you today.
Oh wait, wow.
Sorry.
Wonderful.
That was yesterday. I'm sorry. So, you had to acknowledge it. So we were going to give that away yesterday, and none of you acknowledged
I needed it too.
So nothing happening there. But again, let us know that you're out there and what you're thankful for as we get started. Well, to go ahead and take a quick break. Before we do, I kind of feel like giving away a $25 gift card to Cafe Texan. Our friends at Cafe Texan and the general manager, Tiffany Gobbles, hooked us up with more gift cards to give away. So $25 coming your way today. And all you got to do, super easy, you got to do is text in that keyword. Hornets is the keyword, as we are counting down the days to graduation for our high schoolers here. Not only here, I mean Richards too. Those kids are getting ready to graduate.
Yeah,
so,
that's an exciting time.
Hornets is the keyword. Text that in along with your name and your chance to win a $25 gift card to Cafe Texan. That is on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139. Again, that number 936-339-0139. We'll take a quick break and listen at your national news. Word from our sponsors. Jason and I will be back when we come back. Stay with us. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
USA News, I'm John Schaefer. President Biden and Donald Trump are gearing up for general election debates slated for June and September. The duo is set to engage in a CNN debate in Atlanta on June 27th, followed by a second debate hosted by ABC News on September 10th. Biden issued a challenge to Trump on social media on Wednesday morning, to which Trump promptly accepted. There may be more heavy rain and flooding in store for communities in the central U.S. this week. Ryan Daniels has a look ahead.
Forecasters are warning of flash flooding from East Texas to Mississippi. Another 6 inches of rainfall is expected to hit the south, according to the Weather Prediction Center, where recent downpours caused rivers to overflow their banks in Texas and Louisiana. The threat is expected to peak on Thursday, when more heavy rain will hit Houston, across central Louisiana and into western Mississippi. Officials in Texas continue assessing the damage from the last storm that hit hundreds of homes and killed at least 3 people.
Wednesday morning, a barge collision damaged a bridge in Galveston, Texas. The vessel hit the railroad side of the Pelican Island Causeway, which connects Galveston to Pelican Island, the sole access point to the island. A significant section of the bridge collapsed from the impact, though officials said there were no injuries or rescues. The White House is standing by its strategy for supplying military aid to Israel. During a press briefing Wednesday, reporters pressed Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre on why the administration halted a shipment of bombs earlier this month, only to now proceed with a new billion-dollar weapons package.
We've been very clear that when it comes to their security, that continues to be ironclad. There is no change there. We believe that they need to be able to defend themselves.
Jean-Pierre clarified that the administration remains dedicated to furnishing Israel with defensive weaponry. However, she expressed concern about the possibility of a large-scale military operation in Rafah. This is USA News.
The inventor and CEO of MyPillow is always looking for ways to solve everyday problems. Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but then when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? It's basically a towel that's leaving you out to dry. That's why MyPillow has developed the MyPillow towels. Towels that work. I know, it's mind-blowing. Towels that actually dry you. The 6-piece towel set includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. They come in a variety of colors, and right now you can receive a 6-piece set for only $39.98 with promo code USA. Go to MyPillow.com right now and click on the radio listener special. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty and they have a 60-day money-back guarantee. To receive this amazing offer on the 6-piece set of MyPillow towels, just go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special and enter promo code USA or call 800-951-8175. That's MyPillow.com. Promo code USA.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Hey friends, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know if you're looking for someone in the jewelry business right here in Huntsville, look no further than my good friend Elliott Herslick. He's helped me out time and time again, whether it was that wedding band that I needed a while back or that special ring for Bridget. He's always been there for me. He goes above and beyond.
He's also a person who gives back to the local community. I like to do business with those who give back, and that's exactly what Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers does. Hey, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe you don't know where to turn, what to look for, Elliot is the person. Again, it's Elliot's Jewelers. You can visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com for more information. And when you call him, let him know that you heard from his good friend Rob Hipp. Again, it's Rob here for Elliot's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
All right, then. Back at that's another phrase. All right, then.
All right.
All right, then. You know, instead of just saying hi to somebody or bye, you just say, all right, then.
Yeah. Takes you up a notch.
I'm changing.
You'll be wearing my gold chain before long.
PJ. Can we start calling you PJ?
Call me whatever you want.
What do they always say? Just don't call me late to dinner or something like that was the old phrase back in the day. So, well, welcome back at it. Time now is 7:56. Good news is you got plenty of time to get to work this morning. So, 4 minutes in Huntsville is an eternity whenever you're driving. It don't take more than 10 minutes to get anywhere in this town. So you'll be all right. If you know what, you may even have time to take a shower if you got to be at work at 8 o'clock this morning here in Huntsville. So welcome back at it. Appreciate you all joining us here. Jason Bay from First Baptist Church joining us, hanging out with us on Thursdays. And a lot of great things, happen in our community despite so much adversity. There has been a lot of just terrible news in the community, but I think a lot of it is the way that you approach it.
That's right.
This is an opportunity. When you see bad things happen, this platform is all about promoting good. In fact, I was on the phone with a lady yesterday she works in the hospice industry, and she wanted to learn more about Hello Huntsville, and she didn't even know we had the show. She just knew about the website. And she said she found it because she was looking for good things in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah.
She just did a search for good in Huntsville, and this popped up. And that's what we're about. And
that's right.
When we hear of terrible stories, and there's a lot of folks suffering for so many various reasons, especially the flooding right now, but we have seen so much good come out of this. And Jason, I was talking earlier, and I said I wanted to mention how something that might seem so minuscule made such a huge impact. And I want to give a shout out this morning to a good friend of both of ours, Barry Stubbs. I reached out to Barry and I said, Barry, man, we've got a family. They don't go to our church, but that doesn't matter. I said, but we know them, and I said they need help. And I sent him an email of what we were looking for, and Barry sent out an email to the men's group at our church, sent out an email to the men's group over at Northside, and that act of just sending out an email literally resulted in 25 people showing up yesterday. This was something that I thought was going to take a couple of days, so we scheduled a 9 to 2 yesterday and a 9 to 2 on Saturday, and I don't even know if we're going to have to go back on Saturday.
Wow.
I'd let the property owner know and the homeowners know. I said, man, if y'all need us to come back, let us know, and we'll send out the message. And I've had so many great people. Carmen Gilmer's a friend of mine that I knew back in Georgetown. She's the GM over at Jimmy John's, and she messaged me and said, if y'all need food for Saturday, we'll provide it.
That's awesome.
But that simple thing of Barry sending out an email, which didn't take a long time,
right,
And to some, that would seem so simple. Maybe even to Barry it seems simple, but it was such a huge thing because that act of kindness, of going above and beyond and sending out an email, didn't take much time, and the results and the fruit of that were so great that almost 25 people showed up. And, man, thank the Lord for Michael Smith. He showed from our church.
Oh,
Ashley,
great.
he showed up.
Yeah.
Man, he's got that beef of a Toyota with four-wheel drive, and we had a fence that we had to rip out because it had all washed down, and he chained that bad boy up and just pulled it right on out.
And his house was damaged too.
Yeah.
And so here he is giving back to someone else when he could be at his house doing the work that needs to be done there. But I think that's what makes our community so special, and it comes back to that word, community. What is community? And it's looking out for your brother in Christ, looking out for your brother across the fence, looking out for your brother that is in a bad situation, and there's a lot of hurt going around. But in the midst of that, there's a whole lot of good going around, and I think that's why I'm proud to be a part of this community. It's a loving community.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we all work together. And I've always said this is when you think about all the great churches we have in our community, my prayer and desire is that every single one of those is overflowing with people.
That's right.
Now
That's
the ones
right.
that believe in Jesus,
Yeah.
the ones that believe in the Lord and putting Him I want those to overflow. And we saw that yesterday, and that's what it takes for a community to be successful, is for everybody. And it's not even the church reaching the church; it's the church reaching the unchurched. That, I think, is the image of the church. How can we go out and help people? And that's kind of my calling today, is think about those things and don't feel, and I mentioned this a little bit yesterday, but please don't ever feel inadequate or feel like you don't have a purpose. Even if you're able to impact one person your entire life, I believe a purpose has been fulfilled. You hear about great people speaking to millions of people, but it's also that one. And, not to go off on a sermon, but I think it's Jesus always came. I heard a preacher say this one time, Jason. It was the coolest thing. He said, remember, Jesus came for the one, and you, my friend, are the one.
Right.
And so think about today, who is the one that's in your life that maybe you need to pick up the phone and call? Who's the one that you haven't talked to in a long time? Who's the one that's been on your heart? And that simple act of picking up the phone and calling them may drastically change their life.
That's right.
It's very serious things. And I think sometimes we get so wrapped up in the world that we forget about those things. And we get into, I don't want to say the mundane daily process, but it's like Kay Boning of Tomorrow's Promise. She's so right about this. She said when you do things over and over and over and over, your brain goes on autopilot. So think about like when you drive home, you guys are, 30 minutes outside of town. You probably don't really think too much about that drive because you've driven it so many times.
Right.
Now on Thursday morning you do because you're like, man, I got to get up really early, come up here to this third-rate production. Jason's here, so we went from third rate to first rate.
No.
The Nielsen ratings are in. But I mean, it's like even driving home. And Kay encouraged me. She said, start driving home. And where we live, there's like 7 different ways you can get there. And so she said, you know what, change up your morning routine about how you, not with the children and all that, of course, but your driving routine. And it makes me more aware of my surroundings.
Being intentional about the things that you're doing helps you to discern purpose in what you're doing. Perfect example is what you just mentioned this morning. I probably would have saw the dog out there and just noticed that there was another dog out there. But you had noticed that dog earlier because you were more intentional about your surroundings, opening up your eyes and seeing the world for what it truly is and seeing people for who they truly are. I think sometimes the people in our lives are just like that. You're just on autopilot, and people just become backdrop to the things that you have to do that day. And I think that's a problem. You need to see everybody's going through something. Take a minute to acknowledge somebody for being somebody.
That's good. The reason I noticed that dog's, I didn't want to hit it this morning, and it's been there for like 4 mornings. And then now I'm going to feel bad because I saw it walk by, and I was like, man, that dog, there's so much traffic going on around here. But I picked up a young man. His name's Jonathan. Adrian Hunter, if you're watching this morning, Adrian owns Cabins in Mora, Texas, out in Riverside. And she lives here, though, over in Westridge. Her son is 14, and she said, Jonathan wants to come help with the cleanup effort. And she goes, the only thing is, obviously, he can't drive. And I said, well, I'll go pick him up. No problem. And so after the show, I went and picked him up. And, he was a great young man, helped us. He's a tremendous young man. He's got a big sister, and they're just a great, great family. Love that family dearly. But on the way back, Jonathan and I started talking about animals for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd mentioned, he said something about a squirrel, and somehow I got into this tangent about, man, I'm not being soft, but if I see a turtle in the road, I have to always pull over and get that thing out of the road because somebody's going to hit it. Yeah. And that's just like Bridget will even tell me, thank goodness I have a great wife that's supportive of that. Some ladies may be like, dude, you're way too soft. Just let it go. I can't let a turtle go, man. That thing is going to get ran over.
My wife told me a story yesterday. She's dog sitting for our neighbor, and they have a retriever. And so the dog is, every time you go over there, it brings something for you to throw. And so yesterday she goes over there they're out of town, so she's over there dog sitting the dog, and the dog comes running up to her and lays a turtle down at her feet. And she's thinking, I'm not throwing that turtle.
Are you talking like a real turtle?
Yeah.
Not a toy one.
No. Caught a turtle and put it in, wanted her to play fetch with the turtle.
Well, I just started thinking, how horrible it would be if I leave here and I see that dog now.
Mm-hmm.
Now this will be the final episode of the show if that happens. So if you see that poor, it's like a Chihuahua mix, and it looks like she's pregnant. You could tell because the belly, or she's already had the puppies. Let me put it that way. If you see that puppy, please go pick it up because man, that's gonna scar me. But this turtle story. This Jonathan young man that I was with, he said, we saw a turtle on our street and we went and picked it up and put it in the ditch. And he goes, but later in the day, we saw it on the main road and it was smashed. He goes, my mom was in tears.
Oh, no.
And I think I dreamed about that last night. That's why I wake up like 6 or 7 times during the night. And I think maybe I had a dream about that poor turtle, man. So
we're promoting the good.
Yeah, promoting the good, man. So, but that's what we wanted to highlight in this segment. If you, I know we cut up and have fun, but seriously, if you, maybe you're waking up this morning and you feel inadequate. Maybe you feel like you're not making a difference. I shared with you, not to talk about anything specific that I'd done, but there was a young man that I used to broadcast for with Huntsville High School, and I got a random message from him on Twitter, and it was just a very encouraging message. And I haven't really gotten anything like that before. I've had someone come up and tell me, and that kind of teared me up because even in that world in broadcasting, I take it very serious that our calling isn't just to cover a game. That's like the minor part of it. The major part of it is showcasing student athletes and highlighting their success and how can you help them get to the next level. Right. That's what this young man said. And so even in that season, you think, man, I'm not doing that anymore. I missed that, but I lost an opportunity. No, you didn't. You fulfilled a purpose.
And you never know how many people that you shared that message with me earlier, and you never know how many people that you're impacting. We're just called to scatter seed along the way, and you never know where that seed's going to land, and you never know whose life you're going to impact. That's why I think sometimes we lose sight of the fact that we do have purpose and we're being used until you read a message like that says, hey, you might not have known this, but you really had an impact in my life. This time of the year is one of my favorite times of the year. As we approach the end of school, teachers, students are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Our graduates are going on to other things. But it's also a time of reflection, like for that young man, to look back and think, this last chapter has been tremendous. Just think about what God has for me in the next chapter.
Does your children, they go to public schools? Mm-hmm. So I was sitting there thinking for you, I'm like, I would think it'd be the opposite. Like, oh man, summer's coming up. No, I'm just kidding.
My wife is so looking forward to not having to get up and get those kids up and have a break. And the kids they're getting schoolitis like never before, waking up and not wanting to go to school, counting down the days, the lights at the end of the tunnel. Let me encourage all our people out there, summer is approaching, and it'll be a little lighter load maybe for some.
I'm looking forward to shedding a few pounds this summer playing basketball with your boys.
Man. Oh, yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Good. And you're pretty,
No, I'm terrible.
You're a little bit of a baller, Jason.
Don't even start. I'm terrible, but I know my place.
Pastor has these. He's like Karl Malone, kind of. You need to be a little more. Now, this was like a family type basketball game when we played.
That's why it got so rough. It was family.
Well, we need it to be like. I need to see some more Karl Malone bows being thrown.
Yeah.
If I don't leave a basketball game and have bruises on my ribs, and have to pay a visit to Huntsville Memorial. Was it really a game?
Yeah. Rob played with us and took 3 weeks off.
I think I'm still this was like 3 months ago. I'm still taking off. So, well, we'll take a break, friends. Having a lot of fun this morning. Jason Bay from First joining us, and he is with us on Thursdays. We said next week we may have to get Alan over here.
Really.
We have to give Jason a break, but having a lot of fun today. Do us a big favor. Please hit that like and share button as we continue to highlight and promote the good. Next segment coming up, I think you have something for me, man.
Yeah, I do. I have something very interesting.
It's going to be the Jason Bay segment. We're going to rename it to the Bay 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 segment. All right, that rap song. So, in fact, Jason, he will never admit this, but when he walks in the morning, he plays that song.
That's right. I got to get hype.
we have it on the speakers. What do they call that? It's that clout. You got to get that clout going.
That's right. That's when I lay my gold chain over there on the side.
So let us know you're out there, and again, share this broadcast. But Jason will have the next segment. I have no idea what he's going to do. I'm excited.
All right, good.
Kind of nervous. I took some medicine this morning to calm my nerves. So we'll take a break. Do want to remind you all you got to do this morning if you would like to win that $25 gift card to Cafe Texan. All you got to do is text in the keyword Hornets. That is on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. 0 Degree Candy and Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139. We'll call our winner, too, at the end of the show. But stay with us. More to come. We'll have some more words from our sponsors. We'll continue uplifting our community. And let us know that you're out there this morning. If you're on the Spirit Radio FM app, if you're driving, please don't. But if you are in a position that you can, send us a text and just say hello, and we'll get to those. Also, the social media comments when we come back. Stay with us. More to come. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville on a Thankful Thursday, presented by First Baptist.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. Hey friends, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know if you're looking for someone in the jewelry business right here in Huntsville, look no further than my good friend Elliott Herzlich. He's helped me out time and time again, whether it was that wedding band that I needed a while back or that special ring for Bridget. He's always been there for me. He goes above and beyond. He's also a person who gives back to the local community. I like to do business with those who give back, and that's exactly what Elliott Herzlich of Elliott's Jewelers does. Hey, if you feel like you don't know what to do, maybe you don't know where to turn, what to look for, Elliott is the person. Again, it's Elliott's Jewelers. You can visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com for more information. And when you call him, let him know that you heard from his good friend Rob Hipp. Again, it's Rob here for Elliott's Jewelers. Visit him online at elliotsjewelers.com. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com.
welcome back here. Welcome back as we continue to, I don't know about rock and roll, maybe roll a little bit. Roll. Do you roll out of bed, Jason, or do you kind of? What's your? Let me ask you this. If it's not getting too personal, what's your morning wake up routine process?
Well, I am not a morning person at all, as you probably will figure out over the course of this experiment.
The show's an experiment. Yeah, it's going pretty good.
I'm an experiment. Let me clear that
up. All right.
But so typically, Kim wakes up and she starts getting the kids ready for school. She likes to take them to school. The school's not far from our house, so I'll get up after she gets up. I stay with the younger one, so the younger one doesn't have to get up. She takes them to school. Then I'm getting ready while she's there, and then she comes back, and then and by the time she gets back, I'm ready to come to work, and so that's why sometimes I'm later than usual.
One of my favorite things, it's so cool being a parent. You know this, and for those of you that aren't parents, but you're going to be, get ready for the most exciting time of your life.
Right.
It truly is so wonderful. Everyone told me, it's going to change your life, and I said, no, it's just going to be, it really does. It changes your life.
Yeah, it does.
One of my favorite things now is when my little ones wake up when they're not supposed to wake up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about they wake up in the middle of the night and they just want to crawl into your bed. That's the coolest. It just melts your heart.
Yeah, it does. However, I'm a very light sleeper. So when they come in there, I'm always worried that I'm going to roll over on top of them, and so I get right on the edge of the bed, and then I wake up in the morning, I'm just stiff because I've slept like this because I didn't want to hurt anybody.
That's the way our little boy, he's 10 months old now. And I got so worried, smashing him. But now he's at a point to where he can move around. And our little girl is almost, she's 2.5. So everything's cool with her. But you're right. I get on the edge of the bed and I feel like I'm about to fall off. Well, all right, Jason, you got something you're going to throw at me?
Yeah. So I've been looking forward to this, Rob, because no, don't be nervous. Because I look at our culture, and our culture, we've lost the ability to communicate with one another, to talk to one another. Now, I wouldn't say communicate because people can text and they can do all this, but they say if you go to a restaurant, you can always tell the married couple in the restaurant, right? You can always tell the married couple in the restaurant because they're the ones that are actually eating, right? But they're not communicating. But that's not only true in our marriage, even younger people these days, I find that especially our younger generation, they're so used to texting everything that they don't communicate. So what I want to do in this segment is I want to give some news that people can use, some things to talk about, some things to think about. I have a bunch of different articles and things that I've read, but I'm not going to share them all with you. But how old are you, Rob?
You're putting me on the 40. I almost forgot.
All right, 40 years old. Perfect. So there was a survey taken online amongst people, and just allowed people to communicate back. And the question was asked, after you're over 40, what are things that you really wish that you'd had taken care of sooner? Now, let me give you some examples of what people said, and maybe you can relate to some of these issues.
I already know where this is going because I'm right here, man. It's got to be one of them.
So this one person said that, and I thought about this because growing up, there's similar. They said, I wish I had taken more photos of mundane things in my life, things like my workplace, my colleagues, my living room, the street I live on. And they went on to say, we photograph big things like beaches or, sunset or whatever. But this person said they wish that they had taken pictures of just mundane things. I was thinking about like my house that I grew up in, and I grew up in Cyprus. And I can picture in my head that of the house that we lived in. And every now and then when I go down there, I'll drive back by it. But inside, I can picture it the way the carpet looked, the way the furniture was set up, where my room was. But I really don't have any pictures of that. It's just the things I hold on to in my brain. What's some mundane things that you wish that you had pictures of now that you're 40? You look back over the course of life. What's some simple things that you wish that you had had taken pictures of.
So when you mention this, I'm thinking immediately one of my great-grandmother's house. Her house was just, and it's so weird when you're a little child, you think, man, this house is huge.
Yeah,
and then when you get older, it's like it was really tiny.
Yeah.
But I wish that I would have had more interior. I could sit here right now to this day and I could draw a map of her house.
Right, that's the way I was.
And I remember she had this little Snoopy. See, this is great. I didn't know I was going to think about this. I hadn't thought about it. I'm tear up, man. I'm thinking about she had this little Snoopy cologne bottle that she kept in her kitchen on a shelf as a decoration piece. And I remember every time I'd go there as a child, I'd open that up and smell of it. I wish I had a picture of that. Mom, where did that go? Who got that?
Yeah.
I want that. And the other thing that I'm thinking of that I wish I would have taken a picture of, you were mentioning, your house in Cypress. I wish that I would have taken a picture of our upstairs youth room at my old church.
Yeah.
And the reason is it was very popular back then to have that shag carpet.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking of our living room.
Did it have the poodle carpet?
It had that type of carpet, and I was picturing we had the old console record player, that had the speakers built in, and I'm thinking, man, I wish we had a picture of that room. But I mean, simple things like that.
It was, that carpet's usually caked in gum, Starburst, Jolly Rancher. You can't get it out of it.
Yeah.
But that carpet in that upstairs room in our old church, and our church, it was Main Street Baptist in Georgetown, used to be First Baptist, old building, kind of like our old building.
Yeah.
But it had a balcony, and up in that balcony were classrooms, and it had the nastiest vomit green shag carpet.
Yeah.
And I'm still to this day trying to determine, was it actually vomit over the years that had got in this carpet, or was it actually it was the color of it, obviously.
Yeah.
But I have vivid memories of that ugly carpet in that room.
Right. My backyard in Cypress, we had a pool, and there were so many days that I spent in that pool growing up, just being there with my friends. And Mom told me the other day, she goes, we were talking about it, and she's like, they fill that pool in. And I was like, oh, man, I wish I had a picture of it, because just the memories. And if you ever take a chance, when you're looking at old pictures, a lot of times I find myself kind of looking at the background, just to remembering things that maybe you weren't intending on taking a picture of, but you just caught a glimpse of it.
Are you ever trying to look to the right where the picture doesn't exist and remember what was?
Yeah.
Adobe AI can fill that in for you now.
No telling what it will put there.
So you can do it. And I know this is your deal. I love this, but we want our audience too.
Absolutely.
As Jason is asking these questions, feel free to type and send us comments about what you would see.
Yeah, and so there's that one. One person said that they wish and they'd more pictures. We don't have to comment on all of these, but another person wrote, wish that they had done differently, or things that they regret as they look back over their life. It's not appreciating the people who loved me enough. This person wrote, I am coming to the realization that I was crazy selfish and didn't love the way I should have. Another person wrote, and this may relate to you and me both, not stretching before I did exercise.
Yeah. You don't think about that. You're right.
Yeah. Once you're over 40, you do. All right.
My knees actually, now that you're thinking, my knees hurting still 3 months later from basketball.
One person wrote, caring too much about what other people thought of me. I tell my kids this all the time, because in high school, there's so much pressure to just fit in. I always tell people, if you raise chickens, my mother raises chickens, but if you raise chickens and one of those chickens is different, has a speck on it or something, all the other chickens will attack that one chicken because it's different. But kids and people are a lot like that. They attack the thing that's different. And I think that one of the things that we have to learn, and sometimes it's not till you're over 40 that you learn, is you don't have to fit in with a group of people. It's okay to be different. It's okay. Don't worry so much about what people think.
It's crazy you're talking about that, because I had a really good conversation with a close friend of mine yesterday out of New Waverly, Ed Watto. I just like his name, too. When he first told me, I thought it was Eduardo, but it's Ed. And Ed, you may be listening this morning, but it's Ed, and then you pause, and his last name is Watto. So it's Ed Watto. It's a cool name.
Yeah.
It's like one of those. It should be a radio name. Coming at you live, it's Ed Watto here on the prime time, 6 o'clock. Ed Watto. but we were having this conversation yesterday, and I won't go into the details. It was a conversation he and I had, but basically it was somebody had told me that so-and-so wasn't like a fan of mine or didn't like something about me. And it really hit me hard because I had never, I think about my life and I get it. And I got down this tunnel of like, man, did I ever do anything? Did I ever say anything? And I couldn't, honestly, I can't recall anything that I would have ever said or done.
Right.
And Ed told me, he's like, don't worry about that. He goes, just dust that kind of stuff off. He goes, there's people in my life that I've crossed paths with that, I would consider friends even to this day, but they don't like me or something about me. And it's kind of funny you mentioned this because for me being over 40, I think, and it started in my 30s, I think I was more concerned about it 30 plus than I was in school.
Yeah.
And it was weird in school. I just didn't care.
Right.
My real name was Robin, so they call me Robin Redbreast. The kids, see, now he's pastor. See, it's like these kids making fun of me. It's past, it's all coming back.
You're calling me Bay.
Yeah, there you go.
Turnabout's fair play.
But that was the thing, and it really didn't hit me till I was in my 30s, but especially over the last 5 years or so, I really realized that, and no one likes to hear those things or be told those things. But I've always said this, as long as you are confident in who you are and who God has made you to be, and if you go to sleep every night knowing that you did everything you possibly could have to make a good, positive impact, then who cares? Just dust all that off.
As a pastor, I can tell you, everybody has an opinion on what you do. And when
I first opinion of you,
when I first surrendered into the ministry, I can tell you the many sleepless nights that I had worrying about, well, just what you said, somebody tells me this person didn't like this or they don't like that. And man, it worried me so much. And some other day, I'll tell this, we had a family tragedy that took place in our immediate family at the time. And after that, I just learned just what you said. And I spent way too much time worrying about what other people thought. If I knew that I was doing my very best and I was confident in who I was and who God made me to be, I just made the confession that I wasn't going to worry about what other people thought. I was going to be and if people didn't like that or accept that, then hey, like you said, there's a lot of other churches.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we walked out like 20 times, but we kept getting this phone call. The cat came back the very next day. We thought he would, and so we just kept coming. I'm just kidding.
I don't know how much time we have, but
no, we're good. We're good.
So another one one person said is that they would have done differently is that this person wrote, it seems so cliche, but I did not wear enough sunscreen in my younger years. I used to lie in sun with baby oil so I could get a good tan. Now my face looks like a topographical map of California. I read an article about sunscreen, about the importance of it, but also they just did a new study saying that So many people are wearing sunscreen, and a lot. What doctors are now finding is that a lot of people are coming in with vitamin D deficiency because they're not getting enough sun. So there's a healthy balance there.
Is Sunny D still a thing? That drink?
Yeah.
That stuff is nasty.
Full of sugar.
Like Tang. You remember Tang?
That was awesome.
We're going back now.
This person wrote, not prioritizing my health when I was younger. I didn't exercise or go to the gym. Yeah. Letting go of toxic friendships and relationships, not learning a musical instrument. Do you play an instrument?
No, I try. It's horrible. I know how to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on the piano.
Yeah, I wish I would have known that.
Still got time.
Yeah, that's what they said. Also, it's a lot harder to learn a musical instrument. Another person wrote, learning a foreign language. I've often wished that I knew Spanish, just for the opportunity to be able to communicate with a lot of our people here locally, and but man, when you get over 40, it just seems like it's so much harder to learn things than it is to learn things earlier in your life. What about you? You know a foreign language?
No, like que pasa, it's not really. So I got to be careful because my dad taught me the bad things in Spanish, and luckily Michelle helped me through that. Michelle's bilingual. She used to be our intern. She still is, but she's gone. She still helps us a little bit, but she taught me a lot of Spanish, and the one of them is like it's like I don't think so or whatever. It's yo no creo.
Oh yeah.
So I learned that, and then if someone tells you to do something and it's not really your job, it's no es mi trabajo. It means it's not my job.
Yeah.
So if you ever hear me say that, then just send me a pink slip, okay?
No. So one person wrote, I wish I'd taken my education more seriously, done better in my grades. I thought of you when I read this, when it said, because you're so good at doing this, it says, not asking older family members more questions about our family and people who came before me while they were still alive. We were talking the other day about a lady in our church that passed away this past year, and she had so much information regarding the history of the church, but not only the history of the church, the history of the community. Yeah. And most of that stuff's not written down. It was in her head. And you have to ask and sit and listen to people that have gone before. Did you have a historian in your family that...
Yeah, my uncle, and he wrote a book on our family history. So for me, I always wanted to know more about our family, and so that's one thing that I'm thankful that as a child I was always fascinated with, how family trees work and genealogy. And this was like before Ancestry.com, right?
Yeah.
So my uncle wrote a book, and it's the Descendants of the Hips is basically what it is, and he traced it all the way back to a guy named Stephen Hip, all the way in Tennessee, and actually before that, it goes all the way to Germany. And Hip somehow came from Hoopsch.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of cool. I wish that people went by their last name first. And if I still went by my German last name, I would have named my boy There It Is. So it would have been Hoopsch, There It Is. So.
But you never cease to amaze me, Rob.
We didn't get to do that.
That is awesome. I'm sure your child would have loved that name.
Well, there was a guy one time, I know this is off topic, but there was a guy, calling sports, it was so funny because you never know. The names are really hard. And especially in the development league of the NBA, which they call the G League now, the Gatorade League. Used to be the D League.
Yeah.
I had the privilege to, back then, you could buy season tickets for very affordable. We were literally seat A1 and A2 right next to the bench. So I got to know a lot of the guys from the San Antonio Spurs. At the time, it was the Toros, the Austin Toros. Well, they rebranded to the Austin Spurs, and I was wearing an Austin Spurs shirt. Some guy thought it was a joke. I was like, no, it's their D-League team now. But where I'm getting at with this, that opportunity of being close to the team and my passion for broadcasting led to me getting to know a few people that worked at the Austin Spurs. That opened up the door to public address a couple of games, and that was kind of a cool experience. They had it at the Cedar Park Center, and there was a pretty good crowd. And a lot of these names, these guys in the D-League, a lot of them were, foreigners. And so, man, their names were so hard to pronounce. I started thinking about that, and then it took me back to a high school game that I called once. There was a kid, his last name was literally Shots, S-H-O-T-S.
Wow.
Can you guess what his first name was? I'm not making this up.
Hot.
Collier. His name was
Collier Shots.
Collier Shots. And I was like, that is a basketball name.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's almost like at Sam Houston, there was a baseball game I was calling years ago, and there was a kid from I think it was from the Islanders, Corpus Christi. And I may be getting this wrong. My memory is always so bad. But the kid's name was Itchy, all right? You got to be careful. Itchy Burtz. And I remember, and I knew that I was going to mess up that last name and leave the R out of it, And so I wrote a big note, and I stuck it on the window, and it said, Itchy Burtz, and I wrote it because I did not want to mess that kid's name up. So anyway.
Oh, that is hilarious. Yeah. That is hilarious. Yes, that is
good old Itchy Burtz. That's a tough one.
Just a couple more. One person said not saving enough money. One person wrote that they wish they had taken better care of their teeth. Someone said living life on other people's terms and not your own terms. This is a good one. Not enjoying your youth more. So many kids, I think, are so in such a hurry to grow up. Such a hurry to grow up. Such a hurry to date. Such a hurry to marry. Just such a hurry that they don't ever take the time to really enjoy being a child, a youth. Just enjoy that time of your life. I can see how that would be a definite. A
40-year-old married man with 2 children. You need to enjoy it.
That's right. That's right. Hey, and you're right. I mean, because people, this was several years ago. We were driving down to Galveston. I want to talk about that one day too, about Galveston, Texas. There's a lot of history there. It's a really neat topic of discussion. I want to get your opinion on some things that are going down there. But we were driving down there one day, and we stopped to eat. And when we eat, it's always a spectacle because there's so many kids, and we were all eating around a table. And usually people are looking at us like, trying to count how many kids we have or thinking we better get out of here or order our food before they order their food.
That's what we'd be thinking. Yeah. It's like, hurry, get in the door before they do.
But I was so appreciative of this older man. He was walking out, and he stopped by, and he put his hand on me, and he said, son, he said, you're blessed. He said, take this time to enjoy your family. And, time goes by so fast that we need to make sure that we take the time to enjoy things. And just a couple of others, one person wrote not setting boundaries in their life, too much time in bad relationships. But there's all different kinds of things that you may look back on and think, you know what, I wish that I could have done things a little bit different. Not only does it give you an opportunity to educate other people about the things that are most important in life, but it also gives you a chance to reassess the future. You can't change the past, but what you can do today is start making changes in your life as you look towards the future. So I share that today just to give you all something to communicate about. Sit down with your wife, sit down with your family, and talk about things that you wish you would have taken a picture of, things that you grew up that you wish might have been different. But just have the opportunity to communicate, because when we communicate with one another, we learn a whole lot.
Man, I love that, Pastor. Thanks for sharing that. It takes me back. I love the motion photo feature of iPhones, and Androids also do it. And I regret not. I always told my grandmother that we were going to sit down and record her, and and we never got to do it. She passed in 2021. The night before, she was literally calling everybody. It's like she knew that something was going to happen. And the next morning, she just wouldn't get out of bed. Mom said, "Mother, you need to take your medicine." She said no, and she could still walk. She could still see. She could hear pretty good. She just had spent the last 7 months staying at my mom's house, because you could tell she was 93. She was starting to get a little bit down. And by noon, Mom said, "Look, if you're not going to take your medicine, you need to eat some lunch." And she said, "No, I'm not going to eat my lunch." And then later that afternoon, Mom said, "Look, I think we need to take you to the hospital because you're a pastor." I won't say the last. Now, my grandmother was a Christian, but let's just say that
colorful language.
What was the old when you were a kid? HE double hockey stick.
Yeah.
The last words out of her mouth when my mom said, "We need to take you to the hospital," was HE double hockey stick. No. And then 30 minutes later, she had drifted off. And that's just who she was. And she was saying that because she knew she was going to heaven. She was saying no. She was saying
anymore.
That was the phrase. She was saying no to that. She was saying yes to heaven.
Absolutely. Well, it reminds me of my I know we don't have a lot of time here, but my mother, my father died when he was 63 years old, and he had colon cancer. And the last day that he was alive, my mother she teaches school in Richards, and she was getting ready for school. And my dad told her, he called her honey. He said, "Honey, why don't you just take today off? Why don't you just stay home today?" And she's like, "No, I can't stay home. I got to go to work. I'll be back later." He's like, "No, just take today off." And she didn't. She went to work, and she came back. And that night, he called me, and we took him to the hospital, and he died here in Huntsville Hospital. About just the time we drove up to the hospital, he went into cardiac arrest and passed away. But after that, she would tell me numerous times. She said, he asked me to stay, and she said, I didn't. And she goes, I wish I would have had that day with him.
Yeah.
And I always tell her, and I tell everybody else, you can't play the what if game.
You can't.
You can't go back. You can't. All you can do is say, going forward, the things that I love most, the people I care about the most, I'm going to prioritize the time that I have with those people.
Yeah, love that, Pastor. It's a good message. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll wrap it up. We'll call our winner. I got a couple of thing. We're going to do a Did You Know? We'll make it quick, though, because we got to get rolling. We may have to extend the show to 2 hours one of these mornings. I'd be game for that. So let's take a quick break. One final opportunity this morning to win that $25 gift card to Cafe Texan. All you got to do is text in the keyword Hornets. And by the way, today is the last day if you are able to give to the Huntsville High School class of 2024, Clear the Fees, Clear the Way. This is from Bridget Maloney. She was trying to raise close to $6,000. I didn't know this. They don't let let young people graduate if they haven't cleared their fees.
Wow.
And so there was almost $6,000, and this was in lunch fees, textbook fees, those kind of things.
I can see that.
And so Bridget has taken it upon herself.
That's
she
great.
called the district. She is an alum of 86, and she's raised a couple $1,000s so far, but there's still a long way to go, and unfortunately today is the last day to do that. If you're able to give to that cause, please text her for more information, 972-741-0957. Again, it's 972-741-0957. Do want to mention, again, our shows on Thursday made possible by First Baptist and Jason Bay. Appreciate him being here with us. And please text in that keyword Hornets on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line along with your name. We'll call our winner when we come back at 936-339-0139. This is your show. It's Good Morning Huntsville. Stay with us as we'll wrap it up here on the next segment.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union. One of the best things I hear from our members is how they love being treated like they're important, like their family. Sure, our members love things like low rates on loans too, but combine that with the friendliest and most helpful service in town, and you've got Walker County Federal, taking care of our members. It's what we do. We are Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Here we grow again. Tomorrow's Promise is excited to announce our third location to better serve the families of Walker County and surrounding areas. At Tomorrow's Promise, we are more than just childcare. We pride ourselves on partnering with parents and creating a place where every child is respected, loved, and nurtured in the highest quality environment. See what makes us the perfect fit for your child and their needs. Schedule a tour and learn more about Montessori.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tpms.live for more information. Education you can trust. This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted, family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. The Quincy Carter Foundation is on a mission to transform lives through sports, education, and substance-free living. Founded by former NFL quarterback Quincy Carter, the foundation shines a light on underserved youth, offering free football clinics that teach more than just the game. They instill life skills like teamwork, discipline, and perseverance. In 2023, the foundation expanded its impact, partnering with sober living facilities to offer scholarships for adults in recovery, easing the financial strain and supporting them on their journey to a healthier life. And now, the Oak Ridge Disciple House proudly stands with the Quincy Carter Foundation as a ministry partner, united in a commitment to lifting up those in need. Join us in supporting this vital work. Visit the Quincy Carter Foundation online at thequincycarterfoundation.com to make a difference today.
All right, welcome back at it. This is Jason Bay's theme song. PJ walking into the house. PJ. You never were a PK, though.
No.
PK.
First generation pastor.
One GP. We're going to come up with all these acronyms. So, PJ, I like that one, though. Did anybody ever call you PJ?
No.
PJ. My brother named their baby Jordan, and I kind of felt, I'm going to take a little bit of credit here because my middle name is Jordan, but can you guess how it's spelled? You're never going to guess this. How is my middle? Take a wild guess.
I have no idea. I couldn't even guess.
Because you'd think Jordan is J-O-R-D-A-N.
J-O-R-D-A-N.
No, it's Geordan.
Oh, wow.
Because my grandpa's name was George, and he told my mom, I don't want that. I don't want you to name your boy after me. Not just because he was a very humble guy.
Yeah.
So my mom snuck it in on him and put Geor and then D-A-N.
That's good.
And then my brother liked the name, so he named his son Jordan.
Oh, I like that.
And they call him Jordy. And but the thing is, what was it? There's something that my sister-in-law, she said, do not call him that, and I can't think of it now. Oh, I cannot think of his middle name. Man, I'm trying to think. I cannot think of it. And it's like, I cannot, this is so
hate
bad.
when that happens.
I think it's like JP or something. Anyways, there was like an initial. If I said the name, you would say, you're like, yeah, that was probably what you'd call him as his nickname.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister was like, do not call him that nickname. She didn't like it for some reason. I don't remember what. Oh, it's JR. That's it, because it's Jordan Ryan because of my brother.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, JR. She's like, do not call him that. She don't like JR.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back at it. We'll call our winner here in just a few moments. Again, appreciate Pastor Bay being with us from First Baptist, hanging out with us on Thursdays here on the show as we highlight the good things happening in our community. A couple of quick things here that I wanted to go over. You know, Jason, you inspired me with this because you told me you were going to start throwing some stuff at me. I found a subscription service on the internet. Man, they got 54 pages of stuff every day.
How much time we got?
So yeah, we're going to 8-hour extended. We're only going to go through 1 or 2 pages. Born on this day, I did want to do this one because this is kind of cool. Born on this day in 1801, William H. Seward. Okay, the last name. What would you think? You know, the septic tank.
Yeah.
Definitely not. He bought Alaska for the United States.
Oh, wow.
How much per acre did he pay in 1801? Jason?
There's no telling. He probably got a good deal.
He got a Bilfick Ford. No bull, just good deals. 2 cents an acre.
2 cents an acre.
Man, how about that for your Bitcoin? Back
no
in the day.
kidding.
Today in history, in 1866, good old Charles Elmer Heinz. Do you know where this is going?
Yeah.
What did he invent?
Ketchup.
Heinz root beer. I would have thought of it. I didn't even think of that. Heinz root beer. 1866. Heinz root beer. There's a ton of stuff. I just highlighted a few things. On this day in 1770, 14-year-old married the future king of France. This was common back then. Louis XVI, who was just 15. If she only knew what lied ahead. You getting where this is going?
Oh, yeah.
If she only knew what lied ahead, okay? They stayed together until there was a separation. Do you know what it was? It was Marie's head from her body.
Oh, my goodness.
Needless to say, they both missed the prom. They had one request of the citizens of France, please, no wagering. She actually lost her head over him twice.
Here we are, promoting the good.
And she had quite a head on her shoulders most of their marriage anyway. Oh, man, that was brutal back then.
Yeah,
it was brutal back then. As mentioned earlier, Charles Heinz inventing root beer was such a success that he gave his employment company Hires, which had a reputation of being good but repetitious. That was his employment. Hires. That's what we do. Hires. He was proud of his invention, but he wasn't sure if it would float.
No, yeah.
Okay. It tasted very similar to another soft drink that had been invented by Bob A&W.
A&W.
Bob A&W.
Yeah. That's the one I'm most familiar with. A&W root beer.
This is pretty good here. Just imagine how many other beers he must have tried before he ended up using the roots. That's pretty good, right? Let's see. We won't read that one. Some of these are kind of funny. On this date in 1891, Spam was invented. Are you a spammer?
No.
I don't know which is worse, the meat or that email type. I think they're both equal.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is something here about spam. I'm fairly certain it was the result of a very terrible farming accident.
Yeah, really. How did they come up with that?
And then finally, it was one of these. It was one of those great inventions when a guy at the butcher shop said, "Hey, Charlie, see all those leftover parts?
Yeah, exactly.
Put them all in the meat grinder and let's see what comes out."
Right. That and hot dogs.
There you go. Yeah, both of them. couple more here this morning. Netflix. These are things that you need to know. Very important.
That's right.
Netflix has officially announced a 3-year deal with the National Football League that will put live games on the streaming service for the first time, starting with 2 Christmas Day showdowns.
Wow.
So we're now into this whole thing of we thought that cutting the cord was actually useful, but I think now it's becoming more expensive because
it is.
Everyone's breaking away and they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, I know it is. It's insane. You got to have everything now just to watch the NFL.
Pretty tough news this day. Jason Carter, that's former President Jimmy Carter's grandson. We know that Jimmy Carter has been on hospice now over a year, which is just unfathomable to think to be on that long. He gave an update on his grandfather's health and says that he is now finally coming to the end. And so that's just a tough, and I don't get political on the show, but anytime you talk about someone's life and they're in the middle of hospice, that's just, it's going to be tough for the family and those kind of things. A couple of other things here in Seattle. They celebrated the opening night of the Seattle Storm's new WNBA season at the Swedish hospital by giving each newborn baby a Storm beanie.
Yeah.
So
it's really taken off. That league is really gaining a lot of publicity with Caitlin Clark's addition to the WNBA.
I saw her, and I see the headlines, and I never read her story, I know she was apparently one of the greatest college women player of all time, and I just never got engaged in it.
Yeah. It's amazing the amount of eyeballs she's brought to the league and to WNBA. They say they believe it's going to be like a turning point for the WNBA because it was really kind of fledgling there for a while, but this has really helped the attendance. I think she had her first night last night. Didn't have a very good first game, but you can imagine they just finished the
college season.
The college season, and they go straight into the draft, and then then playing WNBA games with no break at all. I mean, it's that they would never do that in the NBA, but that's the way that the calendar fell for the WNBA. So, I mean, she is probably worn out.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about just going that quick. Here's today's impossible question, by the way. You may know the answer to this one. Nearly 60% of people know nothing about this. Something that I haven't gotten into, and I just don't. Are you into this? But you know what it is. I'm gonna pause for a minute because I want our audience to try to get this question. Nearly 60% of people know nothing about this. There's about a 30-second delay, so we're going to go into a conversation without mentioning what it is. Are you a fan of this particular thing? I don't see the hype about it.
Well,
and we'll try to address this without giving away what it is.
We tried it, and it was a lot of fun, I have to admit. But as I said, I guess it was last week, we had a guy that really enjoyed this particular activity on, and my problem is the wind. When you play with it outdoors.
There's a hint, outdoors wind. Okay.
When you play with the wind, it's difficult to control the ball.
Is it like a plastic ball? Is it a hard ball?
It's like a wiffle ball in baseball. And so when you hit it, and we did it at the church too. We put lines on the floor, and we had but when it was gaining popularity, some people came over and played it. But I think if you gave it a try, you'd like it because it's very easy to learn. It's not as physically intensive as tennis. But
or basketball with the Bay family.
Our basketball. But it's a lot of fun. We enjoyed it. I bought my mother, because my mother was getting into it, and she needed to do some exercise. I bought her the net for it, and we put it up, and we played it. But it was, like I said, the wind was blowing the ball. We couldn't hardly control it. If you got to have a real calm day, especially where we are. We're up on a hill.
60% of people know nothing about pickleball.
Pickleball.
Where did they come up with the name? Somebody like carve a pickle into a ball and
really. I didn't. That's what's thrown me off about it. When they first started talking about pickleball, was the name.
A couple of final things here, and I feel bad. I didn't have a chance to really go through this, but there was a couple of things. Let's get to these really quick, Jason. I know we got to sign off here in just a second. That's what I love. We're not on traditional radio, so we just do whatever we want.
That's right.
Which is great here.
No rules.
Did you know this? A study found that 50% of people stopped being friends with someone because they gave them bad advice. I would garner to say that 90% of people stopped being friends with their family when their family gave them bad advice. The average price of a wedding gift. Do you have any idea what that may be? Average price. And Sky, by the way, got pickleball correct.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe $50.
$109 average.
Man, I'm giving 2 cheap gifts.
$109. That is what it costs to get 2 Big Macs at McDonald's now. $109. Or if you go to Smiley's here on the interstate, it's $7 a gallon for gas. So there you go. 44% of people hang on to what in their car after it stops working? Something in the car that quits working, but 44% of people hang on to this. Do you have one in your truck? Yes, you do. I see it. Is it working? It's a hint. I see it.
Is it the thing that hangs down from the mirror?
It's the air freshener.
Yeah, it's not mine.
Is it working?
Probably not.
Yeah, 44% hold on to it.
Yeah, that's a great advertising tool. That's why they give them away for free. People hang them up on their car and they forget, and they stay there forever.
27% of people have not read a book in the past year.
Yeah.
27%. A survey said that millennials plan to keep cars for 5 years or less. That's thanks to the auto manufacturers now that design cars to only last 5 years or less.
Kidding.
The most common food practice that gets stuck in people's teeth. What is it? The most common food that gets stuck in your teeth. I don't even know because I don't eat it. I don't know how this happens.
What is it?
Poppy seeds. Sorry, I had one stuck in my teeth. Poppy seeds. Yeah, it's a poppy seeds. The average female, how many pairs of jeans? We said yesterday she buys over 100 purses in her lifetime, which is nuts. How many pairs of jeans? You would think
in a lifetime?
In a lifetime. In a lifetime. This is.
Oh, it has to be well over 100.
Oh, no, wait a minute. I guess at one time, how many do they own?
At one time?
And right now, if you went into a closet, how many pairs of jeans?
15.
8 pairs of jeans. Studies have shown that preschoolers have a higher intelligence and better study skills if they were given music education. I can see that. According to a recent survey, that's always, whenever you hear that phrase, you're like, okay, who did the survey? According to a recent survey, Joe Bob going down the street asking random people, 52% of women don't like getting their picture taken because they don't like their smile. I didn't like my smile growing up because when I would bite into a hamburger, it looked like a jagged moon. And I finally got braces when I was 25. And then this is my favorite, and I mentioned this to you. The ideal time for a nap, this is great.
Yeah. Right now.
It's right now. The
second best time.
Yeah, second best time for a nap is 8 hours after you wake up in the morning. So there's a little bit of things that you need to know this morning to get you going. Can I do one more here, Pastor? Is that all right?
Yeah, let's do it.
I got something kind of fun here. Let's do this one here. It's slogan off, okay? Slogans.
Oh, yeah.
We want the audience to. Sally said smelly. She was talking about something being smelly earlier. Sally, good morning to you. Classic edition of slogans, okay? So think of classic companies. You're going to finish this. What company is this? Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Oh, is that
it's a
the
statement
gum?
Of a great man of
some sort of gum, right?
Double mint
gum.
Yeah, double
mint gum.
All right. The Fun Machine. What company used the Fun Machine? I didn't know this one.
I don't know. Atari.
Nintendo 64. You were right there. They're magically delicious.
Oh, cereal, some sort of cereal, right?
Lucky Charms.
Yeah, Lucky Charms.
I didn't know this one. Blank is the word. Blank is. I used to collect these. Blank is the word.
I don't know.
Pog. Do you remember the Pogs?
I don't.
The Pogs, they were milk caps that started in Hawaii. That was big when I was in junior high.
All right.
Pog is the word. And then Whip It Good. Which one is that one? Whip It Good. Not the song, but Whip It Good.
Yeah, Cool Whip.
Cool Whip. Got it. Yes, sir. There you go. All right, here's the modern edition. These are kind of tough.
Yeah, no kidding.
When I read them, like if you ask me, I wouldn't know these. But you know what? I didn't read these, by the way. I don't.
All right. The ones at the bottom?
Do the modern ones.
Pizza. You got to know that one.
Little Caesars.
Yeah. Let's keep her confident.
What is
this? Is your list?
What is? Let's keep her. What is that one?
Dove.
Oh, the soap. Okay. I didn't review these, by the way. So if there's one you need to skip, feel free to.
Might have been that one. It takes more.
It takes more. Like, is it a tire company?
No, Powerade.
Powerade. I didn't know that one. Do you know any of these?
I didn't know those last two. The only one I knew was the first one that you knew. Do it right.
Do it right. Can you give me a hint?
Well, it's a type of bank.
Oh, it's a brand of banking.
Mm-hmm.
Do it right. I have no. Is it what letters does it start with?
Hey.
Oh, is that? I still don't know. Allied. Okay, do it right.
You got this. Shoe company.
It's not Nike.
Mm-mm.
You know that phrase, by the way? I can't stand that phrase.
You got this.
I think it's overused.
Yeah,
and then there's a Christian song that now it's called "You've Got This," and I have to turn it off when it plays on the station. What is this one?
Adidas.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's it. But I love these bad mom confessions. This one mom says she went 3 weeks without bathing her kids. Makes you feel better about yourself, don't it?
You just see this. Yeah, this one says I give my kids pizza for breakfast at least twice a week, and then I pretend to be using the bathroom sometimes when I'm really just sitting in the tub reading a magazine. So
I bet a lot of moms can relate to that one.
Yeah, those are pretty good. So there's so much on here, and I'm gonna go through these every morning just as some kind of fun. And you inspired this, by the way, Jason. So I love this together. So. This one says gross things that couples do. And these are clean. It's nothing bad.
All right.
But it says sharing a toothbrush. We'd never. Bridget tried to use my tooth. I was like, sweetheart, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's where you got to draw a line.
Looking up the other person's nose. Bridget has asked. I asked her to look up my nose one time because I had a sore in my nose. So there you go. And then finally today, something that you need to know is that if you want to lower your blood pressure, you can listen to this show. That'll help you.
Yeah.
But listening to music has positive effects on heart health, including lowering the blood pressure. There's a lot of good stuff in this, man.
I'm telling you, this is news you can use.
Yeah.
Take this with you throughout your day. Find someone to talk to it about it. Say, listen to what I heard on the radio this morning.
You heard it right here first.
You heard it here.
On Good Morning Huntsville.
And only here.
Well, let's get over as we wrap up today. It's been such a fun day. Again, we appreciate Jason Bay for being with us here. And let's head over to our sorry, I'm just getting the number lined up here, our 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. And we've got our winner today of a $25 gift card, courtesy of our friends at Cafe Texan. And I got to remember, don't drink a Dr. Pepper before you go on the show. It's something I wish. You know what I regret? Before I was 40, eating Taco Bell every day. Yeah. Messed up my gut. The rule is if you don't answer, you don't win, by the way.
So does that mean I win?
Yeah, it goes to the co-host. We may not have a winner today.
Your call has been forwarded.
No, your call has been denied. Man, you just lost $25. Let's go to the next one here. This is just, transparency. There are more than one people that text in, because if there wasn't, we wouldn't be able to go to the next one. Takes the internet a while to connect sometimes.
Hello?
Hello, who are we speaking with?
Nina Saucier.
Listen, Nina, my name is Earl McMurtry. I'm here from the Huntsville Utility Department, and your power line fell on top of old McMurtry's truck, and he's just burning. His arm burned off, and we're coming to sue you.
Yep.
Nina, that made
I saw it.
Nina, that made no sense whatsoever. So,
no.
How would you from the utility department call and try? It just doesn't make sense. So.
You tried, Rob. You tried.
Yeah, it's horrible. Nina, good to hear from you. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good.
Nina Saucier's on the phone, and she has. You're still making jellies and all those wonderful treats, correct?
Yes, we'll be at Kim's this weekend.
Oh, that's right. The garden show. There's a big garden show going on, vendor fair over there at Kim's Garden Center.
That's right.
And
Jamie will be there too.
Can you give us the details on what day that is, just so our listeners know to go to that?
It's Saturday the 18th from 9 to 5.
All right.
Awesome. Well, you can go see Nina, get some of her delicious treats. Her husband did our Hello Huntsville sign. Just blessed us with it.
That's nice.
And I have an idea. I'll put Jason on the spot. I'm gonna gift this to the church one day, but I want to get him to. I want to get your husband, and I'll pay him for it. I want to get him to do a really cool FBC logo for us.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Okay.
He's talented for sure.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, hey, we got a $25 gift card coming your way to Cafe Texan. Have you been over there yet?
Yes, we have. It's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we got that for you, and would y'all be able to?
Thank you.
Y'all can pick that up any day, Monday through Thursday, from 9 to 2 over at First Baptist. Will that work for you?
That'll work. It'll probably be tomorrow, though.
That's
No
all right.
problem.
Well, we won't use it today then, but maybe tomorrow we won't. We'll keep it for
okay.
you. Well, hey, real quick before we go,
Thank you.
we always ask our guests, what are you most thankful for here in Huntsville, Nina?
I'm thankful for my church and my family.
All right.
All right. Well, God bless you. It's so great to hear from you, and thank you for texting
Thank you.
in.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I didn't know where I was going with that. Well, it's Ron McMurtry here. It just didn't make sense. Now, I did one of those once, and I heard this, boom. And I'm very careful with how I do that. Because and one day it was Linda from church, like she won, and then she's like, just donate it to somebody else. But I was joking with her, and I was like, I didn't know it was her because I didn't recognize the number.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and Stephanie, sorry you didn't win. She called back while we were on the phone with Nina.
Man.
But maybe tomorrow, Stephanie.
Yeah, let's try again.
We'll try again. Well, that'll wrap it up here on a very thankful Thursday. Appreciate Jason from First Baptist being with us. By the way, if you don't have a church family, we'd love to have you. Come on 9:30 for Bible study, 10:45 for a great service on Sundays. We'd love to have you out there. And we treat everybody like family. And if you're listening from abroad and maybe you're not connected to a church home, just find a good Bible-believing church, get plugged in, and it's something to do that's important on a Sunday.
Absolutely.
Changed our lives, and it'll change your life too. So, Jason, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you, brother. Good to see you.
Appreciate you hanging.
Good to be here. I enjoyed it.
We got a busy day ahead.
That's right.
Huntsville's I End Every Broadcast reminding you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We really do need each other. So please provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. We'll be back at it tomorrow with Billy Cawthon and a Faithful Friday here on Good Morning Huntsville. Our friends from CASA join us, so make sure to tune back in at 7:30. Until then, good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you later. See you, Jason.
Bye-bye.